really a big pleasure to have you on board. This is the webinar series 5 of Reinventing Learning. And this is your host, Malishri from Ignited Minds. It's a STEM hands-on activities in different schools pan India. So welcome everyone. Before I introduce the panelists, because one of our panelists is going to join, I would just like to launch a poll to know about what kind of audience we have today with us. So this is the poll. This is going to be flashed on screen for 10 seconds and you got to answer that. So the poll question says, whom do we have as an audience today? Parents, educators, or both? Wow. So we have maximum participation of educators and of course both parents, and that's a beautiful mix because it's going to be a great learning experience with such progressive educators on board today. And also I would request all the attendees to keep your suggestions and questions on, so that we really welcome new suggestions and new ideas from you. So going over to introducing all our panelists, I would first like to introduce Ms. Manju Gupta ma'am, who is the principal of Kothari International School in Noida. Ma'am has over 4 decades of administrative and education field experience, and she has mentored several principals and teachers. She has designed curriculum for several institutes, and she believes in spreading and increasing the learning and happiness quotient of everyone around her. So today we are going to get loads of happiness and learning experience from her. Glad to have you on board, ma'am, on such a short notice. I'm so grateful. So, ma'am, anything else you would like to tell about yourself?
Oh, when I'll speak, I will talk about it.
Okay. So moving on to Ms. Karuna Yadav ma'am, who is the next panelist. She's from Kapil Gyanpeeth School in Jaipur, and she is being a very passionate educator. She's also a social worker. She is associated with a lot of NGOs around, and especially which deal with women empowerment and girls, child safety and the children with special needs. And also she's been conferred with loads of awards. And what do you like to do in your spare time?
I hardly get any spare time.
No.
It's either
obviously,
something or the other crops up, and the counseling or something.
I'm sure, because you are into so much of mentoring also principals and teachers. And
believe me, Malshri, teachers, educationists, heads, they do not have a spare time.
Absolutely.
Most of the time they're occupied.
Yes, 24/7 now. With digital learning, it's 24/7.
Occupation is like 24/7.
24/7. I can understand. So the next on the panel would be actually Anuradha ma'am, but she would be joining a little late, I guess. So we are having Seema Jarath ma'am from DLF Public School, Saibabad. She has over 30 years of experience in administrative capacity, and she has authored several books for children, parents, and educators. She is the main master trainer for CBSE, and she has done several workshops in different schools. So, ma'am, how is your day like generally?
Crammed and packed.
Crammed and packed. I
live some 40 kilometers away from the school.
Oh, so it's like now that there is no commute. That commute time is like less nowadays. So you get more productive time. right? Also, ma'am, you have contributed to Diksha, the curriculum for digital learning by government schools, right? The initiative that government schools have
It's by
taken.
CBSE. It's by
By
CBSE
CBSE.
for all
By-
the schools of
For
India.
all the schools, yeah.
All schools of India,
So
private
they
or
are all
government.
sending special links to children in government schools, like, you know, to study and all. I think that's the idea.
It's an open portal. Parents, students, teachers, anybody, anywhere can
Can
access.
access it. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. The next on the panel we have Miss Janani Iyer, who is the principal. She is the senior educator and a mentor from the Sri Ram School, Gurugram, and I'm really, really glad to have her on board because she's also been my batchmate in Mothers International School, and she has designed the concept of the circle time, which has become very popular in progressive schools these days because it is, you know, catering to the social, emotional health of children. Along with this, obviously, she takes a lot of workshops with principals and educators. She has also won a lot of awards on this, and she's associated with Disha India Foundation as a circle time resource person. She's also good at school, you know, classroom management and storytelling and, you know, different ways to engage children in the classroom because there are some distracted elements which we need to, and especially in digital platform, a lot of naughtiness is going on these days. So Janani, looking forward to your insights.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Manjari.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Manisha Mishra ma'am is from the Shiv Nader School, and she is the special needs educator, the senior coordinator in Shiv Nader School. And she would be telling us about, with her 28 years of experience in this field, she's also pursuing her PhD in inclusive learning. And we are really glad to have you on board, ma'am, because we would really want, the idea is today the bridging the gap. So bridging the learning gap between the children who really require our special attention and our children, you know, who go to school every day. So it would be lovely to have you. And please share whatever you're doing in digital mode for them. So I would just request Janani, ma'am, could you please share your insights by the time Anuradha ma'am joins in? Could you please share on, you know, like how you have designed the circle time? What is it about? And how are you going, you know, carrying it out digitally? But before that, I would also like to know how is your school calendar going on right now, you know, after the lockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very honestly speaking, Manjari, moving to an online teaching for me, for us, for our school wasn't a challenge because we actually started doing this 2 years back when we used to have this suddenly, unplanned pollution break being declared. And since I work with the senior school, obviously the challenge of completing the syllabus is always there. So we had actually moved on to online teaching. So that wasn't a problem. What came and hit us as a problem this time was that one, the lockdown duration and the timing of it, which was almost when we were getting into a new academic year. And just to quickly mention that, you know, in my school, we have 4 boards. We have NIOS, we have ICSE, we have IGCSE, and we have IB. So when you're setting the calendar, when you're calendarizing the events, it's a huge challenge. It's a much challenge to plan out something that will work for everybody, considering that every board has its own timeline. So everything had been planned. We had worked it, 4 months back, and suddenly we were hit by this whole news that, lockdown. We don't know when it's starting. So initially, the whole the whole talking that started in the groups was, are we going to go ahead with the whole events that we planned out? And also, most of the events were planned for the first quarter. Okay, so what do we do with it? So earlier it was, let's just forget it, it can't happen. However, I think sometimes crisis brings out the best. So we decided, the school just adopted a new mantra that the show must go on. We can't stop the show from happening. It has to go on. And so from there on, we started, bringing in all the events one by one. So it started with the orientation happening. Then we went on to, have the assemblies for kids. Then we went on to have the PTM and reporting. Then it went on to things like, of course, all the PA classes and everything was getting plugged in. Mentoring did not stop. We did not stop our circle time because that we felt was very, very critical for us.
So I was really keen on knowing how the circle is.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay.
This has been, is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible, but your voice keeps kind of, just drowning out again and again.
So
Anyway,
I would just like you to focus on the, circle time part, because you have been instrumental in designing this. No other school had done it. You had done it for the first time and you propagated it also. So what about
I'm sure there were other schools also doing it. You're being very kind to say that to me. Wouldn't like to take the credit on that at all. But yes, because also around this time, the school had taken this stand, had actually adopted this philosophy that mental health of children will need to be attended to the most. So what we started doing was that anyway, since the new timetable was having plugged in classes, I mean, we had plugged in a time slot for circle time. So zero period was already there. So we started feeling that morning CT period was critical for us, where we could do small circle scripts, and then afternoon where we could run circle time. But for those people in the audience who may not be knowing what circle time is, in very simple words, if I were to explain it to you, it's that structured time in a classroom that a teacher creates where she brings in all the students with the purpose of just establishing connect. And the connect is what actually enables the children to have a very enables personal well-being, social well-being, emotional well-being. And this has got nothing to do with academics. So what you do in a circle is like, the possibilities of what you bring into a circle are innumerable. You can bring in group games. You can just sit and sing. You can just sit together and sing songs. You could ideate on a new thing. You could problem solve. You could actually have very intense discussions on something that the class could be dealing with. And sometimes you can have a no agenda conversation also. So, but the point is that this is not anything to do with academics. This is anything but academics, but it is something very close to the heart of the kids. So it's very important that when you take up a circle time, the idea of whatever you decide to bring in the circle time must emerge from the needs of the kids. It should not be so teacher directed that it becomes a teacher's agenda. It should be always about what the kids need and how then the teacher plays in a very critical role of facilitating the whole circle that day. That's where the teacher's skill comes in. So she must know what's the song that I will need to bring in today to, pep them up, and I will then be able to build in a conversation around, okay, what this song means to me during, supposing, the lockdown. How does it keep me pepped up? Or supposing we have a class that's not been behaving too well during the lockdown, during Zoom classes. But that's an important need for that class. So how do we come back and establish some safe learning spaces for kids? So that can be that how can we make it a respectful and a meaningful learning space for everybody? That can become a certain topic. So the possibilities are innumerable. Or it can be a Monday morning blues. I don't feel like coming to school. I didn't want to attend. There will be 5 other kids saying, I don't want to attend.
Very true.
And some days it can be one teacher I'm avoiding today. Why am I avoiding that teacher? I haven't done her homework.
Yeah, true.
So how am I going to work with that? How am I going to work on those things? So it can be just anything that's close to the heart, because the idea also for us was that we have to take up themes that come from them so that we have 100% attendance to it. When it's theirs, they will be interested. When it's very teacher directed, then it becomes, oh, that's teacher's agenda. I'm not sure what is the thing that she's going to give to me at the end of it. How much am I going to be heard? So creating that kind of a democratic speaking space for them. And
so generally, I would just come back to you after I've introduced Anuradha ma'am. She has joined. There was a little technical hitch, I think. I'll just come back to you. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
I was actually trying to introduce you first, but because the audience had already joined in, so I started that. So, Anuradha Govind ma'am is the principal of JM International School, Dwarka in Delhi. And she has been in this field for more than 35 years. She has written international and, in international magazines, national magazines about her very famous child-centric curriculum, which is, very popular. She's introduced experiential learning into it. She's introduced drama into education. And when I was going through her, website and coming to know about her, she's done brilliant job with the children. And the best part is that she's, so affectionate to her staff. And I would also like to play a video which she has shared with us. So I would be sharing it. It's a small tribute to the teachers.
Vande Mataram, friends. India is fighting a tough battle. And as they say, tough gets made. And if besides our doctors, our police force, somebody is really acting as a soldier and fighting. deserve loads of respect and heaps of recognition, encouraging us every day. Salam teachers, India is proud of you.
That was wonderful, ma'am. So inspiring and motivating. We can pat on our backs for this.
Yes.
Because I'm sure there are so many educators on board and they are not getting the due credit that they should be. But as principals and leaders, I'm sure, you have to make it a team, and it's amazingly well you've done it. I mean, like, it was really very motivating video, ma'am. So Anuradha, ma'am, I would just, because there was a little disconnect, I would just again get on to the audience and tell them about what we are going to talk about today. The topic of today's webinar is bridging the learning gaps. So in the earlier webinars, this is the part 5 of this series, and in the earlier webinars, we had discussed about different platforms that the principals and educators were using for teachers and students, and to carry on the process of learning, specifically academic. But the third webinar series episode, we focused upon how the life skills are being delivered through online module. That is, the critical thinking, the social, emotional part, and the social skills. So all that were discussed. The fourth webinar was upon, bridging the learning gap between the privileged and the underprivileged children, to bring in the empathy within the society, so that, when we come out of this lockdown, at least we will be at some level together. There should not be a huge gap between those children who are in government school or migrant labor children who have moved out and have no access to smartphones
Yes.
or other devices. So that was one bridging the gap. Now, another bridging the gap we are doing today is, as we all know, co-curricular, extracurricular, or co-scholastic activities are an integral part of our education system. All progressive schools are into this because it brings out the best from the children. It is
Absolutely,
the way
absolutely.
for personality development. अगर हम उनको सिर्फ पढ़ाते रहेंगे, तो it's not going to, they're not going to face the world as they should be. And especially in a world full of problems and challenges these days, they should be able to cope up confidently, speak up, communicate. So all these skills, debating, writing, creative writing, all the club activities that children had been doing in physical school environment, they have taken a backseat for some schools. But of course, the educators here on board would give us more ideas on how they are digitally implementing all these co-scholastic activities, and with full smoothness. Everything
Absolutely.
is going on, and it's like very well done. So another thing we are going to focus is learning gap, the learning gap with the special need children. And because they are very much a part of our society, and they need to be brought to the level of our regular school children. They are, this is inclusive education era, and we cannot, we cannot marginalize them. So this part also is going to be taken up today. So over to Janani. Janani, you can complete your little bit, and then we'll move to Anuradha ma'am. We were on circle time implementation. You were explaining how circle time is carried out. Do you have, how is it being done digitally? That's important now.
Yes. So when we decided to go ahead with circle time in our school, of course, it was not one of the best platforms for us at that time, because it was one thing using a Zoom or a web, Microsoft Team to teach, and it's one thing doing a circle time where essentially the human touch is required. You need to look at each other. It's all about actually the non-verbal communication as much there, right? So as long as we were on Zoom, it was easy because we could see everybody. But then because of all the security issues emerging with Zoom, we shifted from Zoom to Microsoft Teams. And that meant that at a point of time, we could see only 4 tablets. We could only see 4 frames. Okay. So that was a bit of a challenge for us. But then I guess I do respect the intention of the teachers at that moment, because everybody felt that this was far more critical to hold on to as compared to even transacting syllabus, which we were going to. That is like a given. Everybody was doing it in every school. Okay. But then what we started doing was that we evolved a system of how are we going to create this whole classroom management, because there's a fair amount of classroom management, although I don't like to use that term with Circle Time. It's more about creating a safe space, but with certain agreeables, with certain rituals, with certain agreed upon systems in the classroom. So what the teachers did was things like, in the morning CT period, which was 15 minutes, they started talking about how would it be if we were to conduct Circle Time. So first was almost like a poll from the kids, and most of them were open to the idea. Then the second thing that the teacher did was that she asked them to send out themes that they would like to take up in Circle Time. So this was about consulting the child in planning, because that's where you will have 100% participation from the kids. Then they started talking about, the teacher took a Circle Time initially of what do you imagine would be my challenges when I'm running a Circle Time where I can't see. And kids came up with some really good insights on it, saying that, you won't be able to see us. You don't know whether we are there or not. Many of us could be just, switching it on and going off. So then they came upon, so how do you think we could still keep the process very authentic and we could have your 100% participation? So they said things like, ma'am, certain rules can be actually like a document, you can show it. So, we have a safe space where you do like above the line and below the line. So they said, okay, we will do things like we will keep things confidential, empathy, and all the set of rules that they came up with. Then they said every time you ask somebody to speak about something, that person has to definitely switch on the camera. Okay. So we can have in rotation about 15 people speaking one time, and you don't have to tell us who those 15 people are.
Okay.
Right? So these are some of the tips we gained from them, which actually enabled us to then have Circle Time. So every week there was one robust Circle Time happening for an hour, and kids were responding. We were able to take up themes around even the boys' locker room thing was discussed because they wanted to talk about it. They wanted to talk about etiquettes of being on social media, which is the theme they wanted to. Handling change, that was one thing that they wanted to talk about. Choices they wanted to talk about. They wanted to talk about, in my class, I remember wanted to talk about period box, because some of the girls were going to start their periods, and so they wanted to talk about how are they going to, how are they feeling about it, and that was something that we decided to talk about. So there were a lot of themes that were coming up in various classrooms. I'm sure in grade 12 the themes must have been far more advanced. There was a lot around stress. I know the batch that has passed out, but their boards haven't finished, that batch was very stressed out about when the exams are going to. So uncertainty was the theme that they wanted to take up. So conversations happened, and I think that was when we did our closure for this term. One of the feedback as an exit slip that we get kids to fill up, where they share with us what worked for them in this term, what they thought the teachers could have done differently. So we have that system. I think one of the things that unanimously kids wrote to the school was that it was a great idea that you guys did not give up on the idea of Circle Time, which would have been almost, very, very easily shelved, because you don't have a classroom, so you can always get into this loop of excuses around.
That was actually a big challenge to do it, and the thing is that they opened
the cooperation of the kids, Malshri, this wouldn't have been possible. We may come with the most romantic plan. We are totally in love with our plan, but if the kids you don't have the buy-in of the kids in it, the most romantic plans can land up in a disaster.
Absolutely.
So I think I would probably give 100% credit to the kids on that. They actually made us, and they set a belief on it that ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, आप कर सकते हो, बस आपकी intention होनी चाहिए.
And the children are more tech savvy. They come up with very good ideas these days, more creative than us. So moving on to Anuradha ma'am.
Audio.
You're not audible, Malshri.
Everybody has to switch off microphone. If by mistake, all who are
am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I was saying that, ma'am, that your child-centric approach of the syllabus, that you have designed, otherwise also and during the pandemic.
Online.
Yeah, that has been a very viral thing these days on Facebook. Also, I've been reading about it. It's quite popular. And, I just wanted you to share some ideas about what it is, exactly. Like, what does it focus on? And,
Fine.
can you share some insights?
Absolutely. Thank you, Malashri, first of all, for inviting, and congratulations to Ignited Minds to have
you, ma'am.
organized this kind of platform. A sincere good afternoon to all the fellow principals on the panel, all the team members, and all the others who are from across India. I mean, our counterparts who are listening. Coming from Shabashia video, I think those Shabashias and the kudos is for everyone. I'm sure all the principals, teachers, and teams are trying their level best. I mean, with their mindsets and with their planning to do the best for their children. Now, picking up from where Janani finished it, that the romantic most plans will also remain a wasteful idea if the children are not included, if the children are actually not actively taking part in it. And that's what is child-centered curriculum. There are two, conventional and child-centered. In the conventional setup, the lead is taken by, the focus is entirely on the teacher and the syllabus and the chalk and talk and writing and lecturing by the teacher, and student remains as a passive listener. Whereas in the child-centered curriculum, child takes the lead. The whole teaching learning process is centered around the child. So it's for the child to be benefited, and then whatever it may take. Education researcher Carl Rogers says that the only learning that significantly influences behavior and education effectively is the self-directed learning, means the child-centric learning, which the children are motivated for. So that's what my area of research and practice is, amongst other all, which you talked about, theater in education and experiential learning and all. So in school we do it, but here we are to discuss that how we are bringing it to online classroom. So when we talk about child-centered curriculum, that means children have to be given skills, because skills दिए बिना बच्चा उन सब चीजों को grasp नहीं करेगा. जो skills एक ground है. Like if you want to grow flowers, beautiful flowers, then you have to prepare the soil for it, and then the proper water and manure and fertilizers and care, and then the plant will grow. So that soil bed is prepared with the skills being given to the children. So, and there are so many of them, physical and neuromotor and fine motor, emotional, social, all kinds of skills. But here now, when I'm talking about online, first of all, we had to give them life skills to utilize the time well at home, because to create a realistic timetable and day plan for that, parents were to be told. Yes. And the skill of self-study, skill of coping up with the stress which this time has brought with it. There is so much uncertainty, there's so much fear, what will happen, and there is so much of social media and news all around. Yes. So how we began with the idea, when on 23rd it was announced that it will be locking down for some time. We did not know that it will go so long, but we had a meeting in school and some formative plan was ready with us, that how we are going to relate with children during these days. So first of all, we began with the warming up, the circle time activities which Janani was sharing about. So, and we call them enrichment planners, what we shared with the children. So our 1 week of March, because we had planned, initially when we began, we did not know that it is going to extend up to April and then up to this time. Yeah. So we just were doing activities on our enrichment planner, beginning with the prayer, and like we do in school, so Astoma, and we also counseled our parents that there should be a prayer time together, morning and evening, of the entire family together. So that began, and physical fitness, yoga and meditation and Zumba, aerobics and everything. And then storytelling, because we find always storytelling a very powerful medium to teach anything, and engaging comprehension, morals, values, lot many things, so, and a lot of discussion, and parents were guided. So initially there were sessions with parents more. Children were also a part of it, that how you can utilize stories as a medium to talk to children, because if you'll all realize, I'm sure everybody must have faced, it was in the newspapers also, that parents are finding difficult to
So much
handle and
energy.
teach, and not knowing what to do with this time and how to actually work with children. Some parents who do not know much about it. So I think more guidance was required for them also. So how to see the stories together and talk about the words, talk about the context and perspectives, and then escalate it to further discussion like we do in circle times, along with the other things, informal talking and stories and poems and other interactions. So parents were told more about it. Then one thing which we made sure was inspiration. So inspirational videos every day according to the class level. And we began right from K to 12. Some schools did it for senior classes initially, and some did not do it at all for nursery. Some came later to it. But we felt that first, anyway, in my school, nursery comes the first, because that's the foundation. So we did it for entire K to 12. So it was replete with puzzles, because we wanted to keep their minds ignited, like your ignited minds, So a lot of puzzles and Sudoku and crosswords and games, interactive games, and sessions with parents like this. So throughout the week, this first last week of the March was into this, and we were training parents to use the medium of Zoom, because enrichment planners had links. So we were sending them videos also, means teachers were recording videos. And one session we were taking, which was about the activities, these kinds of activities when children were also presenting their talent. Means you can unmute 3-4 of them if you have decided. So somebody will present a small song, some lines, somebody will present a little dance. So that way, so that was because we wanted to keep children busy and out of stress. And the aim was also to make them used to using this virtual platform, digital. So we were making the ground ready during these days. So parents learned, teachers learned during this week that how to use it. We chose Zoom, and still we are using it. All those risky things came up in between, but we took all the precautions. We sent videos, and we took all the necessary things so that those guidelines were set. So the first thing was that. And then the step-by-step progression. Once this ground was ready, they were all used to, they were all connected with us. Parents also learned how to use the platform. Then we switched over to classes. And we began with one class a day, one academic class a day, not the entire timetable. Like I got to see that it was too much too soon, it would have been. So when we talk about child-centric, means the child should actually get the benefit out of that experience, So you have to go build it up from strength to strength. You can go. You cannot just throw a lot on their plate all of a sudden. So one class was taken. And the nature of our classes has been first, like the idea is of experiential learning and child-centric. First of all, warming up with the children. So not just beginning with teaching. So first 5 minutes, talking them informally, talking about the previous lesson, questions, okay, any doubts and how it has been. Commenting on 2-3 children, the way they are, so, so some interaction.
That's really
And
very, I mean, I've focused is basically the child should be imbibing everything from whatever he's learning, right? So,
actually, so from there, then we built up. Then the teaching started, and in teaching also we ensured, like in video also, you are seeing a teacher with leaf and this plant twig and explaining something. So as far as possible, the demonstration or through some activity method, teachers also use whiteboards, because that will also consolidate learning more. They used videos also. They use PPTs while teaching, so that the experience becomes the best. And we also thought that connectivity and all could be issue with some homes sometimes. So we also created videos, recorded them, and made our YouTube channel and posted the videos there, so that children can see them later also. And that was also for other children who do not have maybe laptops or something, and they'll take some time to go through them. So videos helped that way also. So student engagement, when you're talking about child-centric, student engagement is the key to that class management or the child-centered learning. So student engagement was very, very important to us. That's why we took all these things, and later on we tried more ideas like flip teaching, where a child will, one or two children in the class during that warm-up time, they will describe a subtopic.
Okay.
So given 5 minutes to them. So teachers, when the class was really becoming so enjoyable and engrossing, they increased the time also, means 40 minutes plus 40 minutes.
Naturally,
And,
yeah.
and it just went on.
Yeah,
Because so much
so
of,
actually, I have a feeling that children are going to enjoy eventually, and they're getting used to it also. Although, I mean, they will of course miss the the playgrounds and the hugs and the pats on the back, I'm sure. And ma'am,
and finally, so with this physical fitness, emotional well-being, connects and all, lastly, I would say happiness and motivation were two very, very important factors. So happiness curriculum was also brought in. Initially, we were doing videos, but now our own teachers, or dramatics teacher, means theater teacher, and music, keyboard, tabla, even percussion with scrap. So all those lessons were created, art, craft, dance, everything. And those videos were also posted every week. And children's talent show also. And for motivation, like you've seen this video, similarly, parents sent us regularly the videos of their activities and so many things, creative videos done by all age groups of children. So they were compiled, they were posted on YouTube channel, which we created especially for these days, and on our Facebook post. So that has been a huge way of motivating children. And the last word is that now we are giving homeworks, all the schools, and during vacation, and then again after lockdown, we'll have a session. So in homework also included all kinds of best exposure activities, more than the academic pressure or something. And then there's a plan. I mean, I don't know when we are opening up after vacation lockdown. So syllabus, which is in our hands up to class 8, 9, we are going to keep it very realistic and less. The idea is not to teach them everything. Means whatever we teach in depth, so that they all understand and able to conceptually understand, apply and everything. So we'll make it enjoyable, because possibly I think we'll have to have shifts and odd and even numbers and whatnot.
Probably,
so assessments will also be different kind, and even the learning portions, because stress is least and learning is maximum.
Absolutely brilliant, ma'am. So every activity more or less which is post-scholastic and extracurricular is going on, and you're getting videos from children doing it. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your insight. Karuna ma'am, I would just like to ask you, बहुत सारे बच्चे, like Janani had mentioned, they are a little naughty, they don't want to do, and especially in the lockdown period when they don't have a routine, it is quite understandable that they become more lethargic, they don't want to get up, and so academics, of course, because they have some assessments to do or assignments to submit, they will try to finish it, and then because there's a progress report coming up. But post-scholastic activities या extracurricular activities, अगर किसी को बोले कि अच्छा आप sing a song for us or something like that, when they are in the school environment, it's a beautiful time. They have a mental break from, they go to club periods and enjoy their dance together, debate, drama, everything is going on. And because there is a peer group that helps them to motivate also. But here in secluded atmosphere, it becomes really, really difficult to motivate some of the children to do these things. So ma'am, how are you managing that part? It's for the tricky children. Ma'am, you'll have to unmute yourself. Ma'am, we can't hear you.
My fault altogether there.
Yeah. Now we can hear you.
Well, desperate times, and because of desperate times has to have some kind of desperate measures to be addressed on. And after the initial shock of this pandemic and initial 3 weeks of lockdown, And we were shocked. Everybody like us were jolted, and we got the jerk. But before it could take us over, immediately we were quick on our toes, and we all set, including the management, the teachers, of course, we set and deliberated upon as to what should be the next step. So, and we knew for sure that the dynamics of learning teaching would be changed and has to change, because by what the statistics we were getting from other part of the world from February, so we anticipated that it's going to go a long way, and it's not only a 3 weeks time of this pandemic, it's going to go. So loads and loads of deliberation had to be there. First and foremost, the modus operandi. The deliberation was onto modus operandi as to how are we going to go about it. Online teaching, yes, you had so many. And then, of course, the application, which application is best, economical, of course, that is also very important, and security. So that was also, and then what I said in my initial thinking, everybody was skeptical. My Sanskrit teacher, my Hindi teacher, the dance, the music, the sports teacher, they were nowhere near the technology. So to just rope in them, to train them. So teacher training was again an important aspect of this pandemic. So there was loads and loads of deliberation. So now how are we going to transact the scholastic aspect of it, the curricula, which was, of course, gradually we were training this thing. But then that was not all that difficult, Malashri. What we felt was going across the students with co-scholastic activities, which what we thought was more important. When it comes to parents were more particular about the teaching aspect of the scholastic aspect. But then we as a school, where we as principals, we as teachers, we are more focused, rather equally focused on the scholastic aspect of it, the co-curricular aspect of it. So now how to come across, how to reach onto the students and the parents, and convincing the parents that why it is important for us to have your 2 more hours or an hour a day other than the academic transaction. So then convincing the parents was a great challenge. Of course, then we had those routine, regular, subsequent meetings initially with the parents. And why we had thought that parents is very, very important, like what Anuradha and Janani said. It was very important to make the parents understand, now this is the way forward. So rather than sitting and whining and crying and criticizing, you are just wasting time. This is the call. You have to accept that there's no other choice. So other than academics, activities, because parents also to have the kids 24/7 with them, with their own presence was a challenge. And we were not very confident, like all the rest of the schools. The teaching community, the school community is not very confident about the students being taken care of by the parents in the household, believe me. And the parents would be like teaching, because 8 hours of the school, 4 hours to 5 hours for coaching, and this thing, so they were with them only 8 hours for sleep, and some 4-5 more hours. 24 hours with the parents, it was a challenge. But then in no case we could have left everything to the parents. So this is where we deliberated upon, and we had to keep them progressively engaged. So now how do we keep the students progressively engaged was, important thing is, if we tell them that parents would say, ma'am, hum dhyan rakh lenge, you don't worry. No, we were very skeptical. We knew what all we have been teaching and infusing and instilling by way of values and morals and life skills, after 3 months, they'll be blank. So we had to have a structured, very well guided engagement program where it was scheduled, it was a planning, the plan was there, the schedule was there, the structure was there. And this guided engagement timetable was again after loads and loads of talking to the parents, class-wise, section-wise. I must have taken some 50 meetings with the parents, class wise, section wise, convincing them like this is what we intend doing. Don't you worry. It is our moral obligation to take care of your children. Leave aside academics. Academics is our moral obligation. आप पढ़ाई की बिल्कुल चिंता नहीं करें. उसके अलावा, please see that you take care of the kids in the co-scholastic areas also. So now this is the structured way, because just see, we have in the timetable you have those dance and music and yogas and sports and libraries, so many things. But then if you alienate this with the from the scholastics, so what about these things? What and how are they going to take care? And what about the stamina? What about the endurance, the physical endurance? So there were just so many things which went into the mind, and this is how we send them the structured timetable there. And believe me, Malshri, the teachers, not only mine, everywhere when I see and I attend so many webinars and web meetings all across our country, the teachers are doing wonderful job when it comes to sending the videos of the co-scholastic activity. My yoga teacher, the way she is sending the videos, age-appropriate videos, right from pre-primary to K-12, the meditation videos, the immunity exercises, which is going to improve the immunity. And believe me, she is telling them how to make the concoction to increase the immunity for the senior students also. So the mantras, the yoga, the mudras and the Surya Namaskars and everything, and that is very scheduled way. And then when she's scheduling that thing, the link is being sent across to all the teachers. Any teacher can get inside. So I also seep in. I also would get inside, and I can see those parents with the mats and doing the yogas and the pranayams along with them. So there's something beautiful which is happening through this virtual medium. Believe me. Now, when it comes to drawing and painting, parents initially were saying, ma'am, you आप sheets में भेज दीजिए, बच्चा color कर देगा. No, please let them imagine, let them explore their imagination. So age appropriate, rather than telling them to draw scenery, the child of class 1 doesn't know what is scenery. So we ask them to draw a pot or a cycle, or a nana nani, or a dada. So let them, and they are somebody's drawing triangles or square and something. But then their imagination is good. So and then the parents were saying, yes, what about the colors? I said, no, we know our limitation. We know the parents' limitation. They are not supposed to be going out. So just look at the parents and the teachers even. They said, sir, use haldi for yellow, the kumkum for red, chlorophyll ko aap ghisiye, usko squeeze kar liye, you'll get green, polish, brown. And the way when they are sending those paintings of the kids, believe me, I mean, just look at what all they are sending. And of course, to encourage them, we have asked them to send the videos, the photographs. And the galleries, again, every day the galleries are full of videos and cooking and painting and brushing and doing those exercises.
It's becoming
and
really creative with it, yeah.
Yes,
the point
yes.
is,
And now just see, two-room houses, one-room house, two-room or three-house, they have limited space and they have full of energy. They are used to of going and running around, playing in the field, and here they are limited to. So now what? No, physical education teacher, you would say, okay, up time note karke, you have the staircase, go, take how many rounds into this many minutes. Physical, some endurance, some stamina building can. And then you must have seen on the videos also, there are those sidewalks, sensory sidewalks, top and then one and then circle and then clap and this thing. So we've sent them, okay, draw it in your drawing room, by the chalk, maybe on the terrace. Let them do, send the videos, and they are sending. So this is what progressively and productively engagement.
When you ask them to send the videos, they become more inspired to
more yes.
And
then one more very important thing which we did was, keeping this pandemic in mind, we asked them every from 4 onwards, the student to do it, and 4 and below pre-primary, to mothers to help and keep the kids involved, to make 2 to 4 masks each.
Oh.
And believe me, what a treat my 9th and 10th and 11th boys. You have to pay attention to this word,
Absolutely.
boys on the sewing machine and stitching the
That's
mask
gender
and
sensitivity.
sending the videos.
That's
I
brilliant.
mean, this is worthwhile. So
Absolutely.
I keep, whenever I'm addressing the parents, I keep telling them, this is a blessing in disguise. Do not crave. This is the God sent opportunity. Make the most out of it. And one more important thing which I was wanting and specifically to mention here is, from pre-primary till class 12, I have sort of mandatory made it a point, urge the parents and the student to make one call each day to their grandparents.
Wow.
To the grandparents. If the paternal grandparents are staying with them, to call the maternal grandparents. If the maternal grandparents are staying with them, to call the to paternal. And it's just a therapeutic therapy for them. It's like vitamin supplements from them when the grandchildren, they are calling and just simply asking, "Aapne kya khaya?" And yet again, what I told the parents is, do not prompt what they have to speak. Let there be an innocence in the dialogue. आपने क्या खाया दादू? मैंने ये खाया. अच्छा आपने ये खाया. मैंने तो लौकी खाया. आपने आलू खाया. आलू अच्छा नहीं होता. Some innocence.
Some engagement, yes.
Don't drive them into any conversation when they are communicating. So these are such beautiful things which are happening, provided, again, the word is provided, the parent community at large, all across our country, they come into the acceptance mode. Still, I can see, we can hear, we can see in the paper, online teaching a bahana hai. No, you do not know. Like what we saw in Anuradha's video. Look at the way the teachers are struggling and working and integrating and incorporating so many things.
Absolutely.
But then, and other than this, we are not shying away from taking the co-scholastic aspect also.
Yes. Yes.
So my urge and
can
my
be
request
easily, it can be easily shaven off. Like, I don't think parents would mind also. Too many parents would not mind if it's co-scholastic and extracurricular doesn't happen. Most of the parents
Manshri, initially we were not making sense to them when we sent this thing. But then when it started happening, and now it's been almost 2 months, and then they would say, ma'am, next week का जून में अगर छुट्टी हो जाएगी तो जून के अंदर आप क्या करेंगे? But then again, though our online teaching is going to be suspended in the month of June, but then our co-scholastic is going to go till the time we do not get the face-to-face students.
Yes.
So look at and I'm sure ours is not the only school. All schools across the globe, across our country specifically, they are doing wonderfully well.
Yeah.
So the parents should be coming into the mode of acceptance that teachers, they are morally obliged to help the kids development. And holistic education, when we call it, it's not just for the sake of saying, we mean every word about it.
So actually, the point is that we are blending online teaching with homeschooling. So when it's homeschooling, so parents have to create that atmosphere, that child has to have some learning outcomes. It can only be done in a symbiotic relation. अगर एक negative में जाएगा, दूसरा positive, it's not going to work that way.
And you just see the amount of life skills they're learning.
Absolutely.
Amount of life skills they're learning out of any and every activity.
Yes.
So pandemic is like in directly proportion to life skills learning. This is what I tell my teachers. Don't take it positively. Take it positively. Yes. Let them government machinery, authorities do what they are supposed to be doing. Let them do. But then what are we supposed to be doing? Let us do it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice. I love the mask part and the gender sensitivity, and talking to grandparents is extremely important at this time. It brings out their feelings also, and plus the grandparents also feel connected. They feel नहीं तो हमको बात नहीं कर रहे, पूछ नहीं रहे. So I think it's a very
दूर है. They are also confined. Wherever they are also confined. They are also confined.
Absolutely. Yes. So moving on to Manisha ma'am now. Manisha ma'am, you are handling the most sensitive part of the society right now, and it's an extremely fragile, children who actually need in-person contact to deal with them, to understand their needs and their, requirements, how to handle them. It's a very, very difficult task when you connect with them physically also, like I mean in the school when you meet them, तभी भी थोड़ा time लगता है समझने में कि special needs child की हर की अलग requirement होती है. So अब तो I think it has become a real challenge for you people to do it on digital mode. So I would just like to know how your school is doing it. I mean, it's an amazing job. Like, बताइए मैम इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा. Ma'am, you'll have to unmute yourself. Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Audible?
Audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm listening to all the panelists, and it's very encouraging and inspiring, experiences and all. And I would love to share about my school experience, what we are doing with our special needs students. The moment the lockdown started, even before that, our school started online classes. Before that, so what we did, because as a special educator, the most important thing was to ensure the equal experiences for all our SEM students. That was the most important thing for all of us. And in our school, we have a inclusive school, progressive inclusive school, where we have 4-5 counselor and 16 special educators. We have a very robust team of special educators, and we have mild children with mild disabilities in classes. So because they are in there, we are giving them in-class support, and we have a small group of students who cannot fit into regular in-classroom support. So functional curriculum, we have the right for them, and we are working with them. Right now, what we did, we started our classes, because for all these students, the most important part was the transition. Transition from the actual classroom to the online classroom. Because like any other child, they were also anxious, but they were most of the time unable to express their feelings.
Yes.
How it will happen, what will happen, how long it will happen, when we will come back, can't we meet our friends? Questions were there. So we did, in initial classes, what we did, we made a rapid of classes for all these students in a small group setup. Each special teacher and their favorite teachers. They have favorite teachers in class.
I'm sure.
So in the previous special educator, they are bonded well with that person. So we had meetings with them, and we found out how to inculcate all those things which we can invite regular classroom. We tried to create an online classroom similar to the classroom, the regular classroom. What we did a smooth transition was very important. So we explained them in first few classes why it is happening, what is coronavirus, why it is, what precautions to take, why we are at home, why we are not talking to meeting each other.
Yes.
So that was very important and critical part with all students. Senior students were very comfortable. They were not that anxious. They knew that some kind of things were there.
Something is happening.
We will sit at home. The senior students are little mature enough, and the level is different. But the most children who needed the most, they were very anxious. So we started to plan the structure of the class. So we set the timetable, we set the class rules, everything, we just made a PPT of it, and we shared with them. And the parents were also there in those classes. And we shared with all the parents also what is expected from these classes, what should be the behavior. Okay. And then later on, we come to the class timing, the class lesson plan, because most of the time when we are doing our classes, we are giving in-class support as well as the remedial classes.
Okay.
With the special educator. So actually we started with the in-class support, and each special educator went to specific classrooms, and they were there with the regular classroom teachers, and they were attending those classes. So in that way, we gauged how our SEN students are behaving in particular class, with particular teacher, with particular subjects, and we found out how, what are their challenges. And we teachers also, okay, what are your concerns regarding these students. So we our notes on everyday basis, and later on the basis of that, in our remedial classes, then the teachers, regular teachers, were working on the curriculum content, because it's a regular, they are following regular curriculum. So they are supposed to follow the regular. We started working on the skill. Usual classes also we work on the skill, but right now the focus is on the skill, whatever they are doing. Suppose it's a reading, writing, speaking, emphasizing how we can create more speaking opportunities for these students, because in group situations, in larger group, they are unable to express, they are hesitant to
Speak out.
read also. Hesitant, and they cannot write also many times. So because they have some reading, writing, speaking difficulties. So we worked on that. And when we were taking remedial classes, we incorporated many technological apps in it, because we are also in a learning phase. And how to incorporate all these apps into it. We made PPTs, videos, and with all the students, even with the senior student, we have observed, because few of them are ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder is there. Their span is low, and then they get tired very easily. They don't want to sit. Earlier, screen was there for them for entertainment, to play games and to see movie or cartoon. But now it's a studying tool, so it's not necessary they'll stick to it. So our main concern was they should sustain their of their video. Okay, so they should be there. They should regularly follow the class curriculum and in the classes, regular classes as well as the remedial classes, and they did the fantastic. We incorporated many. We changed our things into a very project-based learning. Actually, this is the time I can say that this whole learning has become actual project which Karuna ma'am also shared, and Anuradha ma'am also shared, that this is a project-based learning. But we are just the facilitator from far. And the main pillar are right now it's in the parents' hand. So we are working as a team, the parents, teachers, special educators, then we can help the child with special needs. And we were teaching them, we incorporated many life skill-based projects. Like some of the teachers were teaching them baking skills. So they made cupcakes, they gardening, they got small pots and started gardening something or the other. They started doing many other things, like they started doing craft work. We started all these things in a Zoom class initially. So class is always like a 40 to 50 minutes. Divided the structure of our classroom. First 10 minutes is a rapport building or fun activity. What did you eat? How was the day? Next 15 to 20 minutes, the main content, what we wanted to do. And their attention is moved. And we gave them a little break in between. Like, because it's a screen time, and you should screen as a on the TV, and there are advertisements when you're looking at the serial or so we make our own little advertisements, and break time, it's an interval, it's intermission kind of thing, and then move to the next activity. Then in the last, we also tell them to just what is the exit slip, like about it, and another one also talked about it. That exit is whatever you have learned. So tell me what outcome. The goal is there, or achieve the goal. And later on, when they are going back, we ask them for the instant feedback also. आज की क्लास कैसी थी? अच्छा लगा? क्या अच्छा लगा? सबसे अच्छा क्या था? Simple questions, then you can implement their ideas, their things in the next class and improve your online class. We do not know directly, we cannot ask in 20-40 minutes, we cannot judge many things. We have to gauge from the screen only that what they are learning and what they are doing. So, and at the same time, we regularly. Because we are dependent on parents to give the supplies. If they want eraser, pencils, even the project is there, the craft activities, the things for craft, crayons and everything, and they are baking a cake, that
material has to be given.
It's a guided instruction activity. The child can go to the kitchen on the microwave on our own, and we don't want that the child to do that. So we want the parent support from that. So we luckily we got everything from them.
Yeah.
And they were back, we again we did a lot of show and tell activities, so it improved their listening skills and as well as speaking skills.
Okay.
Because not them. I talked to my team before coming here, and I asked them about what are the benefits you find, because right now we cannot change it, we have to deal with it. So I just wanted to see the silver lining. So the thing that most of them, all of them actually, they said that the children are more focused now.
Oh.
Yes, they have actual lot in most of the times, because there's no other distraction. They are not talking to each other.
And somehow I think they like screen time.
They like screen time.
Children like
And lot of visuals are there, lot of videos we are sharing, and it's moving and it's fast, so they're engaged.
Yeah.
They like the things, or like the free breaks is helping them. And this is making them to be an independent learner in some way, because we are giving them little assignments. Assignments can be a project based or a writing assignment, anything which they can in the WhatsApp groups, and they are making choices. Decision making has improved. Speaking skills have improved. Listening comprehension is improved. Loud has improved. These all things are there, and they are freely expressing themselves, and there is nothing like they cannot do, because right now they are in the platform, they are in the comfort zone at home.
At home,
Yes, because they're at home and no one is judging them. So that comfort zone is also
comfort is big. Yeah.
confidence.
Yes.
And I would say that and best part, handling computer. Most of them, the children with severe needs, they are handling it so beautifully. At times they tell us, ma'am, press that button. So this is the way they are, feeling that they are empowered.
Lovely. Absolutely fantastic.
And the rest of the most important, and we are getting connected with the teachers also. What they are doing, are they completing, the senior students specifically, are they completing their assignments or not? Are they listening in the class? Are they answering skills are there or not? So what they do, we have observed a few of them, they are answering better than before, but the video, they keep it. They don't want to show their face. That's okay. But in the Zoom class, there's one very positive thing. Then when we are talking, when the teacher is teaching, I can chat with the teachers privately, and I can chat with the student privately, and no one
can know.
And we have done it. And in this way, I can tell the teacher, please ask a question to him. Don't ask a question, because he cannot answer how question. He can answer only what question.
Right.
This is the way we are, collaborating.
Absolutely fantastic, ma'am. Absolutely fantastic.
And one more thing I just add, this, and we are also taking a great care of their emotional health. There are children who are, they are not liking it, definitely. Homework tuition. But now we counsel them. Some students are not liking the online classes, they are disturbing the class or something. We did the counseling session separately on a Zoom meeting with the specific special educator and the child, and PMs also on Zoom. And although apart from that, we keep on asking them, what is the best thing you are seeing today? They are more observant. What is the new thing? What is the new thing you observed around? So, and we are connecting them to the community. How you are helping your mother today? What did you do? And we told the parents also to, make them do
engage housework. Yes.
And give it as a reward. We are also giving them reward online, like we are giving them virtual cakes. All that.
It's like giving a star on the hand the children get.
One of the teacher, she made a award kind of thing. Nominees are like that, and she ensured that all should get award. And they're so happy to see, they were getting awards.
Absolutely fabulous job you're doing, ma'am.
And as educators, I think I would share with all of them, because most of the educators are there who are listening to us.
Ma'am, your voice is it's breaking a little.
As an educator, I should say that days and bad days. Each class won't go the way you want it.
Yeah.
Please don't lose hope.
We're
This
not.
is an exploring and learning phase for all of us also. So let's do it. And for parents, I would say that please have patience. Pass on your anxiety to your kids. That is very important because sooner or later they will learn. They are very smart kids. They are very lovely kids, affectionate. Just give them love, emotional well-being. Just take care of their emotional well-being. That is the most
Most
important.
important thing, right?
I would just add one more thing because I missed it. We give them the homework, the holiday homework, because right now the holidays are going on. We didn't give them the major homework like do this thing, do that. We just gave them the real life project homework that you are supposed to find out how many things are there in the fridge and see the labels and find out the expiry date and everything.
Oh,
The washing label, washing tags, and find out can you wash it in the washing machine or not.
oh, okay.
And then find out if you have this much amount of rice in your home, and you can
So volumetric and general, yeah. So they can deal with real life. Yeah.
data and time management, money management, all these things we have given them as a project. For the parents also to incorporate all these things in their homework.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank
So
you
I
so
would say
much.
this
Yeah, yeah.
is the right time. I think as a
But to learn, actually, the children have to learn life skills more than the academics. ये
yes,
बात थोड़ा सा पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस कराने में मुश्किल है. So I think Manju ma'am is going to throw light on how she is convincing the parents to create a homeschooling atmosphere. I'm sure you're doing a lot of scholastic things in your school also, ma'am. So, but like everyone has said, parents have a mindset. Primary school वाले थोड़े से receptive होते हैं because they want their children to be engaged. But middle school and senior children, they would not want their children to be singing songs and dancing. They would want कि नहीं नहीं पढ़ाई करो. There is an assessment tomorrow. So parents can be real naggers. मतलब बहुत nag करते हैं. I'm like myself like this at times, although I try to control myself, but they can really nag children and be very irritating. So how did you convince the parents that you have to create that atmosphere that children have to learn co-curricular activities also?
Namaskar,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody. Parents, I don't think parents nag. Parents, no, I don't agree with the statements that the parents nag. Parents care for their children and they're their way of showing the care.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
One. Second, in their mind, the education is all about learning developing cognitive, right?
Yeah.
In their minds, what they have seen, like, the parents who are in the school at the moment, they're around like, who have studied in last, I would say, the 60s, 70s, 80s, right? They are in school.
Absolutely.
And how they have studied, they have crammed,
yeah,
and they have lived a life, and they had the attitude that neighbors envy owners pride. They lived in that attitude.
Yeah,
So they always saw, or they saw, means I'm talking 10 years back, they saw their child as a product with which they can flaunt around, and my child, and he's done that. So, and in terms of grades. But today's parent has become more knowledgeable, more flexible vis-a-vis education. So they let the children be. And I salute this age of parents. These days I'm meeting parents, and what I feel is that they are accepting the new norm in terms of, not only in terms of how the life is going to be, how the education is going to be. So they let them be. Now let me start with first thing. My grade 12 start, because सब छोटे बच्चों की बात करते हैं, मैं ऊपर से आती हूँ. Grade 12 के बच्चे, along with their studies and their curriculum completion, they're all on it. They're independent. I find the teachers are independent and the children are independent, and if you give them space, they do wonders. Right? So they are connected with UN, I'll give you one example. They connected with UN, and of late, if you go on our Facebook page, the grade 12 as a whole, what are they doing? They've connected with UN Office of Drugs and Alcoholism, right? And believe you me, the kind of interaction this is happening in last, like, I would say 1 month, 1.5 months, the way they are creating awareness all across, the kind of online messages and online surveys and online, development which is happening, and the kind of videos then come to me, I see as a product. The process is very deep, and the way the teachers are involved. So the product which I see, that I put on the Facebook or the YouTube. But the whole thing is that the way they are understanding that how we need to move on, how we need to take this, the goals, SDGs, how are we, so they're working on each one of them. How do we protect environment? So they are doing wonders. Like, similarly, the moon is happening online. I have United Nations, this thing on the 29th and 30th. I invite all principals to send their teams.
Wow.
Okay. So this is happening on 29th and 30th of June. Incidentally, we closed our school with the wishful thinking from in the month of May. So my summer vacation is over. We start school from 1st of June again. I thought of redesigning their calendar, that since they have to be at home, so May was a holiday time for all of us, but actually not holiday. Most right? Day in and day out, teachers are getting ready to get present from 1st June onwards. So again coming back, so the parents' contribution in their development is immense these days. All parents, whatever is their expertise. My 9 to 12 is doing online internships, and it is compulsory. It is a graded, somewhere the grade, if you put
has
it
to come.
right? So then it becomes compulsory. So grade 9 to 12 is doing online internship. We have helped them to get engaged, connect with the people. And there are a number of people now who are offering, because these days that's the order of the day. So online engagements are on, so online internships are on, and the stories which I get to hear, they're amazing. They're discovering their talents, and they're discovering that this is what I don't like to do in life.
Wow.
So it's both ways. Manju ma'am, how can somebody? So they're sorting it out, and that's all happening by the virtual modes, and parents are supporting. So why are you saying that the parents are nagging?
No,
Okay.
some inputs were there, that because 24-hour engagement is too much for working parents. If parents are working from home, it's okay, go away, do whatever you want, kind of like, don't bother me. So that becomes, ma'am, your video has disappeared.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I'm there. So the whole story is that this goes on, and as this goes on, I think the parents like you, I don't think you nag enough, and you let the child be. So parents are now virtual. I would say the virtual dance classes are on. Rashmi and Kamna are taking virtual dance. That's the official dance classes, like which they would take face to face. So they are. I'm not talking of school dance classes. They are different curriculum. Let me tell you. Shall I make it a little more academic? That there is a curriculum activity. So there are subjects, and this is how it is to be taught. The co-curricular, as we name it, co-curricular are the part of our curriculum.
Curriculum, yes.
Right? Like you have Olympiads, like you have spell bees, like you have quizzes. These are all co-curricular activities. The extracurricular activities, which you said, were beyond the curriculum, beyond the school hours. And I'm so happy to tell you, even the sports coaches are doing online training.
Wow.
And when this was shared with me, I was amazed at their. I said, basketball kaise khilao? Kya sikhaoge tum basketball mein? Ma'am, there is so much. We ignite the child's interest in it. We give them the basic skills, and we show them, and they do it at home. So the physical fitness kind of a thing, like I say, what he said, that ma'am, the children who are interested in basketball, they already have their, the baskets at home.
Wow.
The best ones. They have it, right? So how to shoot, and what is the angle, and what is the projectile, to the physics in it and the science in it and
Integrated
everything. So
learning.
they're able to teach them those minor things through the videos, and I think, and they're creating on their own those videos. So the result is not, it's come from US, and the child feels it's somebody else, not my job.
Yes.
It's their own teacher talking to them, and it's happening. So the whole story is that each teacher is able to, each part, each extracurricular. So whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's, you know, that.
So ma'am, again your videos disappeared, ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, the phone calls come, then what do I do?
Yeah.
I trust it. So the
So
result is,
yes. So ma'am, I think, yeah, the brilliant job they're doing basically, you know, lots of physical activity, everything is being covered.
everything is happening, and so nothing has come to a stop. Nothing has come to a stop because of this. Rather, the children have become more focused, what she was saying. They have become more focused. The best thing which I have found in this, the parents who are busy in their life and rut of the fast pace of, they have got connected with children. They have time for children. They sit with children. They talk to children, and the life has become brilliant. So as an educationist, I am very satisfied that we have not lost.
Although we would like to hug them when they come back to school and enjoy our life like that, but this is also happening now. Yeah.
No, what are you talking? Can you hug today as per
Ma'am, later on, we are hoping for the best.
No. I'm saying before pre-COVID also.
Yeah.
Please understand, did parents permit us to touch their children? So the hug was out of our course for last couple of years.
Okay.
So it's all right.
I'll be launching another poll just to engage the audience once again. So this is the question says, what would you miss the most after the lockdown is over? Is it family time, eating home cooked food, or doing nothing?
Say again, did you ask me this question?
So we are sharing the results. So everyone is saying they're going to miss the family time because, like you said, everyone was in a rush, and they've all come together as one. So moving over to Seema ma'am now. Seema ma'am, you got to give an overview of Core Scholastic in our new normal. Now there are lots of inputs, lots of things happening, but now you have to give a bigger view of what all you have been doing and how it's going to happen now in future. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're not audible.
Now I am.
Yeah.
So happy evening, all of you. And thank you, Maishri, for setting a context for me. So being the last speaker has its advantages. I have the benefit of perspective. And listening to all of you, one thing that I could see is that yes, we are logged in, but each of you has ensured that learning is not logged in. Each of you has been rethinking, reinventing, and rebooting the way you function. And in this manner, you have managed to keep pace with the times. We did not choose these times. They've come, but we are adapting to them and we are all dealing with them. And since the majority of the audience is also educators, I think a big congratulations to all the educators here in the audience and on the panel. All of you. So our world changed in the blink of an eye when the COVID-19 came. But one thing that did not change, and when we talk about education, is the definition of education. So education from where I come goes way beyond academics. Academics alone can't complete education, and I think it's already been said by one of us already. So academics is only a part of education. And it is not about teaching subjects. It's about teaching the child. I think Anuradha said it. It's about maximizing the child's potential so that the child becomes the best of who he or she can become, the unique best self that the child can become. And in this context, so this hasn't changed. And so the Core Scholastic holds importance. So on March 22nd, when the lockdown actually was announced, we began creating our master plan. Now, interestingly, in February itself, we had I'd met the director Microsoft, and I'd invited her over to the school, and then we'd invited their team, and we'd had our team, the entire school team, trained on Microsoft Teams in February, March, or first week March. We were actually planning for the rainy days, the extreme summer holidays. We were preparing for the pollution holidays. We were preparing for the covered holidays. We were already creating an alternate virtual timetable. So that was already on the card. So we were preparing in that sense, never realizing that such a thing could also happen, that on March 22nd, we would have to start creating this master plan and implement it. We had to start from the 1st of April, 3rd of April, and we began from the 3rd of April. We were able to start school. So creating the timetable and the scholastic plan was easy. But we had an ideology, and our ideology was that we knew that schools would take a long time to open, but we needed to also develop the children's social, their personal, their emotional competencies, and those certain skills that would support their achievement in school and also prepare them for the future. So we needed to also do that. So this co-scholastic component of education had also to be rebooted. So we took 1 week only taking scholastic classes, and took us even longer to really plan this co-scholastic aspect of the curriculum. And what did we do? So I thought there's been such a lot of talking. Let me show you what we did rather than talk about it. And to do that, I'm going to just share my screen, and let me know, Malshri, that when it is visible.
Yeah, just a minute.
I think you have disabled the screen sharing.
No, ma'am, I'm enabling it in just a moment.
So I thought I'll talk less and show you more.
No, I think you can share now. I have enabled it, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute. I have enabled it, ma'am. Is it visible?
Can you see my screen?
No. No, we can't see it. Seema, we can't see it.
Not yet?
No.
Now?
Yes, it's coming.
Yes,
it's coming.
Great. Can you see me? Yeah, you can. Use the term co-scholastic. I do not use the term co-scholastic. Can you see my PPT?
No. It's not there, Seema.
It's not there, ma'am.
Is it visible now?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But do it full screen. Do it full screen.
I think there is something. I get a signal that says don't do it full screen.
Okay, ma'am, you can continue. Otherwise, also it's visible.
It's visible. All right.
Yeah.
Let me find.
Yes, ma'am. We can move to the next slide.
All right. So when I use the term co-scholastic, I do not just mean the clubs and activities. I am talking about more. And
I think there's some technical hitch, ma'am. Ma'am, the pictures are not visible, but I think, I think you can go on with the,
Oh, it's come.
yeah.
Can you see it now? Yeah. All right. So I wanted to say that when I talk about co-scholastic, I don't want to confine myself to just the activity clubs. Of course, the activity clubs, but beyond that. So, this is what you can see on the screen is a global exchange that we are having with our partner schools in Russia. And the exchanges have been ongoing for the last 6 years. So every year, They come in the month of November, and every year we go in the month of May. So right now there was this project that was, so we've just come back in October from Russia. The children and teachers are going. And we had this project that was ongoing about Siberian cranes. So Siberian cranes is something that Russia and India has in common. And every year, these in winter, they used to migrate from Russia to Asia and Rajasthan in India. And they stopped coming in 2010. So there was a whole research that was going on by the two schools. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
I could hear some disturbance. So we were having this exchange. And this year the children could not go in May. And so this was day before yesterday, Zoom came to the rescue, and class 7s of both the schools could actually have this exchange and culminate their project on Siberian cranes. I also look at art integration. I think everybody here knows about art integration, which CBSE has promoted in a big way. And this year, so I also look at art integration as a coming together of the scholastic and the co-scholastic domains, because it actualizes the education not just of the head, but of the head, heart, and the hand. So integrating arts into a curriculum and bringing the course from right from K to 12 was the big agenda of the year for us this year. And in the last 2 months, we made an attempt to make that happen in the school, despite the challenge of distance. Just to take some examples quickly and run you through them. So storytelling is the most powerful tool that one can bring into the classroom to integrate the arts and also increase the engagement to teach any concept whatsoever. Even in the subject of economic science, physics, and chemistry, we've started to use storytelling in the classroom. Here is a teacher who was, this is a KG class, teaching about colors. She dressed up as a gubara wala, or she's talking about the concept of colors through the activity. And it was beautifully accepted by the children. Here is a fruit mart, where the concept was about the fruits that need to be peeled before eating. So again, innovatively supplementing. So this also is what I also count as part of co-scholastic methods to bring in these ideas. A fruit mart created. Building vocabulary in an innovative manner. So this is a magic show where using, while the magic show was happening, children were building their vocabulary when they were identifying new objects that they didn't know names of. This is an EVS class where the children used things that are in their homes, but they are not in use, and created models while they, to show the concept of parts of plant. This is hand puppets to know more about my family. A create out of waste, where everybody's created cameras out of making wise use of waste material that is available in the house. This is building language skills through show and tell. Even the older children are doing it on Flipgrid. I'll come to that. Just a quick word about socio-emotional learning. I think a bit of it was spoken about, that socio-emotional learning needs to be a priority during these times. And this is a simple exercise that teachers do in every classroom, because the children need to know how they are feeling. They need to be able to acknowledge their emotions, give a name to the emotion that they're feeling, and it helps in emotional and mental well-being. So this is a Padlet exercise where all the children put their feelings on a feeling wall. I think this is class 4 or 5. And a similar exercise is done even with classes up to 11 and 12. This is an example of art integration from an 11th class, where the teacher used the app Parley to do an online debate. And the topic that she gave them was panic buying during the COVID outbreak. Class 9 students have created their music. So this was an exercise given to them to create their music using Flipgrid. So that's an exercise, and this is here their submissions that they the children came up with. So very, very enthusiastic exercises that the children took on in a very, I think I wouldn't talk about these now, but we did celebrate we wanted that, okay, these are times of uncertainty, but we want to bring in as much certainty as we can. So we celebrated all the days that we always celebrate. So Mother's Day was always special. And the children on the other side, as you can see, made chocolate laddus while the teacher was showing them how to make laddus. And almost, I think, 100 children made laddus for their mothers on Mother's Day. Another, in different classes, different activities. Some of them made gratitude cards. Some made gift baskets out of waste material. Some wrote poems for their parents. Similarly, Earth Day was celebrated, where the children pledged to save the earth, and there were numerous programs that every class did something or the other. I will skip those slides because there are a whole lot of slides through which you can see what they did on Earth Day. This is one class where they created rainbows and hung these rainbows outside their homes to bring peace and joy and healing through the rainbow to the world. You wanted me to talk about intra-school competitions and inter-school competitions also. So simultaneously, the competitions on Earth Day were rolled out for all classes. And these were the competitions. I won't talk about the design of the competition, but I will talk about what did we do with the results. When the results came, we couldn't have a special assembly, but we wanted the children to feel special. So the director of the school and myself, we went into the classrooms and we announced the results, and we gave them their e-certificates there and then inside the classroom. And we asked the children to unmute themselves, and everybody clapped for them. And in that sense, we could make them feel special. So these are different classes. We also have always talked about, I keep saying social emotional learning, because where I come from, it's a thinking school with a soul, that it's very important to appreciate the other and to be grateful. So the children would only clap. So we put up a Padlet exercise, and we said everybody can send their appreciation to their peers through the Padlet. And here you can see on the screen, these are some of the Padlets that were created, and the children, all the peers, appreciating and applauding their friends. There were inter-school competitions that were happening. I think a whole series of them are happening even now. And the children participated. And here is a UNESCO competition where Angelina's reached the finals. There is another competition that we are also a Cambridge school, Cambridge board. So the Cambridge community had these competitions, and two of the children won prizes there. Similarly, International Dance Day was also celebrated, and the children have created a production using the video. I wouldn't go into that now. We're celebrating the birthday of every child. We have been doing it for April, May. On a certain last date of May, we do it. So this was the birthday party that this time it was somebody, I think, talked about virtual cakes. We had a virtual party where everybody baked their cake and they cut it together and everybody ate together. We've already spoken about clubs, so I won't really talk about clubs, but yes, all the clubs are happening. And to hone the individual interests, strengths and passions of every child, whether it is the fitness club, the yoga club. Quickly, if I have to share something about the clubs, what I would share is that, parents, and so for example, so the teacher was playing this kacha papad, pakka papad, now say it in a surprise tone, now say it in a sad tone. And there were children, it brought so much joy because the children were doing it, and then one could hear the parents also doing it at the back. And in the music class, for example, and another sister said, my school is not doing these clubs, sir, can I also learn with my brother? So, and then some places where the mother says, ma'am, sir, aap mujhe sikha do, tabla kaise karna, main isko sikha dungi. So we are having all of those clubs and all of those activities, and the parents are also enjoying this. This is the theatre class, where I think one of the most successful classes that are happening, where they are working on dialogue delivery, communication skills, dealing with the plot and other things. The Indian dance, the Western dance, and so on. I'll just flip through all of them. I'm not really taking you to that. There's a gourmet club where she's working on dishes that will raise their immunity. Aerobics. And there was such a lot of demand for the clubs, and we had to close school yesterday. So within one day, there was such a lot of demand for the clubs that we had to start a summer camp on popular demand. Within one day, we started the camp. We have activated it. And yesterday, day before night, 1 o'clock, I think we sent the link and we said, everybody register. This is the amount of number of children who have registered in 12 hours. So we have this number of registrations, and the club has started today. 619 children have registered for the club, and now there are 25 of our children who are going for this PicMake online. It's not just a principals meet. The meet has happened, but there's a whole PicMake experience, and 25 children are going where they will learn from the most accomplished artists of the country. They're going to learn folk dance and poetry and theater, traditional painting, crafts, and yoga. So all of that has happened because we've been doing that. A very quick sharing, just because somebody talked about parents, Karuna, I think, talked about a parent acceptance, although Manju has already responded to her, was a CPTM that we did. So, it was a very pleasant experience and raised the teachers' respect in a very big way. So we have these PTMs always. So we had the child parent teacher meeting, the CPTM, to strengthen this bond, because as we say that the child is the sum total of their environment. And, behind every parent, this stands, if the best environment would come if behind every parent stands the school and behind every teacher, the home. And when this PTM happened, the response was amazing. Every parent attended. I think we've had it for half the school till class 5. Every parent attended. That is one thing. There was a child in Visakhapatnam, mother in Delhi, and both of them came with the teachers. So they actually met on that. It was a very emotional moment actually for them. And the kind of thanks that the parents have written to every teacher has been a very pleasant experience. And, it takes care of this concern that parents do not appreciate or understand what we do. They do. And every teacher has come out of this feeling good, feeling appreciated, and feeling respected. So I think where Anuradha started with that Shabashiyan, I close with the Shabashiyan to say that the Shabashiyas actually came. And I think if I have to give an average, we had these appreciations for more than 95% of parents, almost everybody. And gratitude is something that we talk about a lot in the school. So learning and the joy that comes from learning certainly can't be long. Close. That's all from me. And there is, of course, a lot more rebooting to do. And while the earth is healing itself and we all stay logged in, let us do more rethinking, reinventing, and rebooting. Till then, let's give these extraordinary times the respect that they deserve. Thank you, everybody.
So beautifully said, ma'am. Wonderfully explained. And but only thing is that I am really feeling upset that we are really short on time and participants are leaving. Only one address I would want, Janani, there was one question on what topics do we take during circle time for, the lower grades. So that was one question I wanted you to address. What circle time topics should be taken?
Yeah, I'll just address that. So thank you, first of all, everybody. That was really very insightful, all the things that you shared that your schools are doing. Well, like I said, that when we do a circle time, it has to be pitched at the age of the child. So if you're at a pre-primary level, obviously you're not going to engage in very intense conversations with them. Those would be more like rhythmic movements and just, getting them to sit down and to share the pattern of what's happening in class. So there you could just do things like, let's just move a clap together. Let's move an action together. And their probably sitting time duration would be not more than 10 minutes. We don't expect them to be able to, concentrate beyond that. And maybe some conversations can be built through stories. So that can be one of the ways by which circle time can be conducted. But when we come to primary school, a 30-minute circle time can be easily broken into, say, a 5 minutes trigger or some kind of a playful activity that the teacher may want to bring in that enables some kind of, bonding between the kids. So something that's playful. And then we go on to taking on whatever the teacher has decided, whatever the kids have been wanted. So some of the themes that are very common themes in primary school is self, pets, then of course, family, what makes me happy, what gets me worried, friendships, teamwork, being kind, gratitude. I'm just thinking of a few. Then, of course, how do I feel when I can do things on my own? How do I deal with when I'm when I don't get along with a friend? How do I want to solve that problem? How do I get myself organized? So there, the thing is that it's not about what I want to take in. It has to be what they need.
They need,
And when
yes.
it comes from there, it becomes authentic.
Yeah,
It's very easy for us as a teacher to get into a classroom and start thinking, how am I looking?
Mm.
But it's not about how you're looking, it's about how they're feeling with
They
you.
feel,
So
yes.
unless you consult them,
Yeah.
they will themselves tell you, I think we will want to talk about it. I remember there's this story called Ekki Dokki, which is one of the favorite things, one of very favorite stories. I remember when I used to teach primary, I used to be reading it. And sometimes it's all about how can I be kind? That can be just one theme that came out of it. So it has to be an organic process. It should not be that you go with a set platform that
Yeah.
but then the attachment of the child doesn't happen to the theme at all. They start feeling that there is a teacher's agenda here.
Something is being imposed. Yes.
There are some social emotional needs of that age group, the sense to belong. I won't say fit in, because fitting in is about changing yourself. It's about belonging. And how does a teacher want to bring in? How do I make this a place where everybody feels respected? Respecting the spaces, respecting your personal space, respecting somebody else's personal space. I don't take things without asking somebody. Finders are not keepers. All those themes can be picked up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Janani. Yeah. So I would really want one-on-one interaction. We're looking forward to more webinars. I'm really sorry, Seema ma'am, that we had to rush through your series. It was wonderful. I really wish we could, see each one of them, because this is a part of CSR. We are doing it as a social initiative for rural areas. So when you show these things, that these can be done in such a way, I'm sure the principals there would, it would help the educators there. So it was a brilliant, absolutely a brilliant presentation, but we really had to rush through. Karuna ma'am had to go because she had a webinar. So thank you so much. But one last thing I would like to add, that an experiential activity part has been filled by Ignited Minds. We are doing a summer camp also, and we'll be doing, catering to each child. We are sending our STEM activity box called Newton Box to each child, and there will be an online support given to each child for assembling and how to, connect with the theory that we do physically in the school, but since the lockdown, we've not been able to. So this, the middle school lab, they can have it at their home space. They can create their own lab. They can have their own projects. So looking forward to more interactions, one-to-one this time. All of you, this was only a trailer. I want one-on-one interactions, and it was a brilliant, brilliant learning experience. Thank you so much, all of you, and thank you all the audience for all the patience. And stay safe and stay healthy, and happy vacations to all of you. Hope you relax a little bit. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Manju ma'am. Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Thank you, Anuradha ma'am. Thank you, Seema ma'am. Bye. Thank you so much.